Hey y'all, my name's Mare. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting another reading vlog. This time I have a plan, I have focus, sort of. We're going to be strictly reading romance books in this vlog. I have a couple of options to share with y'all, but I know what my first read is going to be, so I'll just start off with that one. It's going to be Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, who is the author of The Love Hypothesis. I'm out of breath already. This is not good. I need to go to the gym. Love on the Brain. I don't know too much about it. I've started it, I've read 2 chapters so far, and I'm already having like some mixed feelings. So this one might be, you know, some tea. I really wanted to read Love on the Brain even though I knew nothing about it because I loved The Love Hypothesis, which is this author's first published book. And I also read the STEMinist novellas, which are like a series of 3 books following different women in STEM and their journeys of falling in love, and I liked them all. They were good. However, something I noticed with those 3 novellas and The Love Hypothesis is that it kind of felt like you were reading the same book 3 times over. And that's great and all if it's unique and different enough, but I'm starting to notice with Love on the Brain, 2 chapters in, that that is not the case. So this book follows, what are their names? Levi and B, who are basically enemies from their graduate years, and now they're working on a project together at NASA, and Levi has always been very standoffish towards B, and B thinks that he doesn't like her, and I know that's probably going to not be the case. He's probably been pining for her for years, and she finds out later that, you know what, she was misreading that all along because she was with her fiance at the time. And this just feels like very predictable already. Like, I'm all for a predictable love story, but this is very much reading like The Love Hypothesis, so I'm a little bit nervous. And there's also, so far, 2 chapters in, an excessive use of exclamation marks. So I'm really hoping that I love this. I'm trying to stay open-minded, hopefully fall in love with being like Levi. I'm going with Levi. I don't know if that's the case, but we're gonna stay hopeful. This is gonna be my first book for this reading vlog. I'll have more thoughts on it later. As for my next one, I don't really know. Actually, yes, I do know. I'm gonna be reading, what's it called? One second. I'm gonna be reading Well Played, which is the 2nd book in the Well Met trilogy series. I think there's gonna be a 4th one, so it's not actually a trilogy, my bad. I read Well Met last month and I really enjoyed it, so I've been dying to read Well Played, but it took forever to get it off hold from my library, and I finally got it today. So that's gonna be my audiobook that I listen to today while I play Animal Crossing, because I am a very simplistic gal and I do the same thing every single day. But that's gonna be my audiobook for this week. And then as for the rest of the books that I'm gonna read in this vlog, I'll probably read one more. This is kind of what I'm working with, and they're all very different vibes to me, but I have a Sophie Kinsella book, which I've never read before, and I also don't know how this came into my possession. I think my mom like sent it with a bunch of my books, so might be reading a mom rom. Then I also have Neon Gods by Katie Roberts, so I know this one's gonna be probably very spicy. You know, I'll give it a try. It's probably gonna be a spicy good time, so we'll probably read this one in this vlog. But then I also have No Words by Meg Cabot, and this one I bought because it was $5. I'm very guilty of that. Books A Million has me hooked by their deals. But this one was giving beach read, so I wanted to get it. It's about a small town, Little Bridge, one of the island, what's an island? Not even a town. It's a small island in the Florida Keys, and it's about a children's novelist, arrogant love interest, sweet child novelist. Yeah, it's giving lots of good vibes, so maybe I'll read this one. But those are my options. Those are the pickings. I'm probably gonna get a good chunk of Love on the Brain read today, or Well Played. We'll see. And I'll update you guys in a little bit. I have to go decrustify myself because I'm trying to film some videos today for this channel, so I have some content that's not sporadic and all over the place. Yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hair because it's probably been 6 days since I've washed it.
Welcome to another day in the place for
I'm back. I hope you are doing well. It's been like an hour since we've talked, but I have read a little bit. I decided to get ready so that I could film my August wrap up and my September TBR, which are probably already up by the time you see this video. I'm just still waiting on my hair to dry, so I decided to read. You don't care about all this. Anyways, I'm gonna film, so that's why I look a lot nicer than I did before, because I was getting ready. I was listening to my audiobook, which was Well Played, and I'm now 20% into this. This one follows Stacy, who's one of the tavern wenches with Emily in the Renaissance Fair from the first book, and the Renaissance Fair for this year just ended. Simon and Emily, who are the main couple from the first book, are now wedding planning, so she's helping with that process, and she's kind of just feeling stuck. Seeing all of her friends evolve and change is making her really want change herself. I totally get Stacy's perspective. I think she's a little bit like, woe is me, but honestly, who isn't? I really think that's relatable. Stacy starts corresponding with this musician who tours around different Renaissance festivals named Dex, and Dex is a bit of a player. She's been told she hooked up with him the previous summer and the last summer that they came to the Renaissance Festival, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna message him and I'm gonna see if he's interested in actually talking, getting to know each other, because I want to know more about this man. Things start kind of going well, and that's where I am in this book. So far, I don't really care about Dex and Stacy together, to be honest, but I'm really happy to be back in this world of Well Met. I love seeing Emily and Simon from the first book grow as characters and seeing where they are now a year later, which is super cool. And I'm excited to see more about the other side characters. I know the third book follows April, who's Emily's sister, and also Mitch. So I'm really excited because I really like those two characters, so I think I'm gonna enjoy the third book even more. But this one, so far it's good. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm enjoying being in Stacy's head, and I'm excited to see her love story. So hopefully it's super sweet and romantic. I haven't read any more of, where is it? Love on the Brain, because again, I've just been getting ready, so I haven't had time to hold a book with my fingers. But yeah, I'm gonna go film these videos and I'll update you guys when I have more to say. Oh, also, I went to Crumble Cookie and I went to Starbucks and I got my first pumpkin cream cold brew this season. It was delicious. Good morning, friends. I finished a book yesterday. I finished Well Played, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Mostly like feelings of growth and also like indifference. I didn't like this book for a lot of reasons, but I also really wanted to read more about this world with these characters, so I was excited to get to know Stacy's love story and to get to know Stacy's man. But some of the parts of the story just felt really icky to me because there was a lot of lying, and part of that includes masking your identity and catfishing, and I just don't think that you can ever base a relationship off of that. I don't think it's okay to accept forgiveness for that. At least I never could. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but the fact that this lying incident was so quickly forgiven multiple times really disgusted me. I think you should be open and honest with your partner 100% of the time, even if it's something that's difficult to do. And the main male love interest in this book had plenty of opportunities to come clean, and he simply did not. He was trying to avoid it. And you know what? I'm gonna just say it, he wasn't hot enough to be making all these mistakes. He didn't have like any characteristics that I was like, oh my god, he is the perfect man, or someone I could romantically fall in love with. I didn't really get why Stacy was so into him, especially when he was catfishing her. I thought that was gross. I think I'm gonna give this one 2 stars because I feel like there was a lot of explanation for it, and I do feel like the character was sincere in his apology, at least some of them. But towards the end of the book, when we got to a conflict that looked a lot like the first one, I didn't like it. It was gross, it was icky. I'm still gonna read the 3rd book in this series because that one follows different characters, and I'm really excited to read about April and Mitch together, but this book was just unfortunately not good, and it makes me sad. It wasn't anything with like the writing, but just the characters and the plot devices that were used. Absolutely not. Anywho, I am now about a third, maybe a little bit more into Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I'm hoping to get halfway into this today, so I need to read about 60 pages, which fingers crossed that I can do. At first when I picked this up, I was having a lot of reservation. I was thinking this was going to be really cringy and just not what I wanted, and it is still a little bit cringe, but the more I read, the more invested I find myself getting. I do really like Levi as a character, and I'm wanting to get to know about him more. I think B's a little bit annoying, but like, I get what Ali Hazelwood's trying to do. She's trying to make her quirky and different and a strong feminist, and like, that's great and all, but it also feels a lot like her first book with Adam and Olive. These characters very much do feel similar, and the plot feels, you know, a little bit similar. We're in this science-y world and they're working on a project together, and they had a history at grad school. There's a lot of similar elements to the love hypothesis. I do really feel like I'm reading an extension of that, but I'm not having a bad time. So I'm curious to see how this ends and if I still feel that way, but right now I'm just excited to see how Levi and B are gonna get together. Stay tuned. Hi. Hello. Hi. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Sorry if there's glare on my glasses. Also, my hair's wet and my bed's not made. Things you're gonna have to deal with. That. I finished Love on the Brain, so I want to chat about it because I have a lot of conflicting thoughts about it, and I'm honestly not sure where I stand or settle with this one. I think I'm gonna end up on like a 3-star rating, maybe 3.5, because I did have a lot of fun with this book, but I also had a lot of like issues with it. I don't know, I didn't have like glaring issues. I just thought it was a little bit too cringy at times. It definitely reads like fan fiction, which isn't a bad thing, but it just isn't like my cup of tea personally. And because it read like fan fiction, like sometimes I felt like Ali Hazelwood was just trying to be really relatable and like really quirky, and like it just missed the mark for me. But this book was definitely readable. I didn't really want to put it down. My thing with this is that the characters, Levi and B, felt like Adam and Olive from the Love Hypothesis to me, and that wasn't cool with me. I feel like if you're going to do a sequel, not a sequel, what is this, a book, if you're gonna write a book, a second book that is sort of similar to the first book that you published, I feel like your characters should be very, very different. B was Olive, except she was far more annoying, and Levi was like a less cool version of Adam. So I just felt like these characters were not great, but I liked the setting. I liked the fact that the romance had more to it than just the romance. Like, there was a side plot going on, which I thought was really fun. Definitely does try to say stuff about women in STEM and how STEM is a space for women as well, which is very like feminist girl boss of Ali Hazelwood. It's cute, definitely readable. I definitely liked it. I just wish it was more unique than it was. So yeah, we're on my 3rd book for this reading vlog, and probably my last. This is a very dramatic 3rd book, people. We're reading Luck and Last Resorts, which is the sequel to Loveless and Fancy Ships, which follows these 2 characters. So the whole set of books follows characters who work together on a yacht. So the first book follows Joe, the second book follows Nina, who's her best friend. And Nina used to have a relationship with this cook named Ollie, who was a chef on the yacht, and then he stopped working there, but now he's back. Joe is trying to set them up, and she's like, hey, I know you guys have real intimate feelings for each other. You should work it out this summer while you're on the yacht together. In theory, I thought I was going to really love this book, but so far I just feel very lukewarm about it, which is kind of devastating because I loved the first book in the series so much, and I loved Nina's character, so I was so excited to read her book. But she's not reading how she read in the first book. I don't know why, but she's not the same fun, like, quirky girl, and I guess that's because you're in her head, you're getting more of her thoughts and like her insecurities and such. But I feel like we could have had that in the first book, and we did have that, and we're not seeing the layers to her that she has and that I know she has, so that's kind of frustrating to me. Also, just don't really see the chemistry between her and Ollie. Like, I understand that they're supposed to be together, that they have mutual pining for each other, but I don't physically see why they should be together now, if that makes sense, besides the fact that they work together and they're friends. Another thing about this book is it flips from past tense 9 years ago and present tense when Ollie's on the yacht and like versus when they first met, which is kind of cool. But if you're gonna do that, you have to make the timelines very distinct to me, and if I miss that the audiobook said like 9 years ago, I'm really confused. I feel like it's not very clear what's going on in each timeline, and they're very, very similar, which I guess could be like a literary metaphor, I don't know, but I feel like it just needs to be a little bit more distinct because I need to understand the purpose of going back 9 years in time if we're going to have that. I'm going to refrain judgment for now. I still am liking it, it's just like not living up to my expectations of it, which is very devastating. I've read about a third of this book, maybe more, so I'll check in with you later, hopefully before I finish it, but if not, surprised I finished it. Hey friends, this super cute angle means it's time to end the vlog because I finished my last book, Luck and Last Resorts, and I think I'm gonna give this one 2.5 stars, maybe 3, maybe 2. Not really sure, to be honest. I was super disappointed by this one. I don't really have much more to say, but it just didn't get better than how it was. I never really rooted for Ollie and Nina to be together, and I thought that Nina was a completely different character than how she was introduced in the first book, so that really upset me. I didn't really find an emotional connection to this book like I was hoping, and while the writing wasn't bad and the characters weren't bad, it just didn't live up to my expectations, and I think that's why I'm just so upset by it. I will still read another book by this author. I hope they do continue writing because I still really enjoyed Loveless and Fantasy Ships, as I've said a million times, but Luck and Last Resorts was subpar. This whole reading vlog was kind of subpar, which is disappointing because I was really excited about all 3 of these romance books. Maybe it's time I start picking up another genre because I'm just not feeling these connections, not feeling these romances. Maybe it's a me problem. Maybe I don't believe in love anymore. Who really knows? I just need a really good romance, so I might pick up Neon Gods next. Maybe I'll vlog that, but anywho, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching my channel. Really appreciate you for being here. Let me know if you've read any of these romances down below. I would love to know your thoughts on them. Do you agree with any of my opinions? Do you disagree with me? Am I a fool? Let me know the tea. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all!